Hello there, I'm Simon Bilcliffe. I'm founder and chief exec of a company called Webmart, which is a print management and marketing services company, brand management, all that kind of stuff. And that nice lady Louise at the Connect Yorkshire has asked me to do a video about my view and take on the turbulent times that we are going through at the moment. Well, first things first, I'm working from a spare bedroom, which is one of the things that you kind of tend to find when you unexpectedly have to work from home. I had to mandate everybody to leave the yellow sheds of wonderment, the idiosyncratic office of Webmart in Barnsley and Bicester. I mandated they had to work from home from Thursday because open plan offices, great, standy uppy, sitty downy desks, fantastic to spread germs everywhere. So what I wanted to people to do was everyone's got elder care or childcare or something along those lines with vulnerable people. So I really didn't want to be the person that would help propagate that. So luckily, we are a cloud-based business in that everything we've migrated over the last year plus into the cloud. One of the things that we had was a bit of a pinch point. So these are kind of hints, tips, and cheats of how to work effectively away from in home, away from the workplace. The first thing that we had to do, even as we access everything through browsers anyway, was increase the VPN, the virtual private network, because everybody was going through a single point, and it's all right when you've got 10 people going through it, but when you've got 50, a bit of a problem. So that was the first pinch point that we had, that I had to upgrade, and then we had to get people to upgrade their own laptops virtually, which took a bit of support, and it's still going on. We've migrated that through. And then we had what was the most genteel robbery you've ever seen in a business's history, in that we had on Thursday night people taking out chairs, spare screens, little things that make them more productive, and put them in the car, and they went, and that's it now. We've got 3 people in the office, 1 reception, and 2 in finance who are working on a Sage implementation. Thereafter, that's it. And those, obviously, they're all washing their hands and all this kind of stuff. The good news is that we have 1 of our soul down with coronavirus, but that's it. And thank God I closed early, because then we would have a lot more people down. We have a standard way of working at Webmart from home, and I'm going to share that with you. And it's worked really productively for many years with us. So this is the standard Webmart approach to working from home. So first things first, whenever you have a video, you've got to get light on your face, because otherwise you look like the Phantom of the Opera. You're either on one side or the other, or you're like the Scarlet Pimpernel. So you need to get lighting on your face, and that can just be a little light. That's a LED. That's just a normal one. Give you a different face. But video conferencing is going to be everything going forward. Today alone, I've used GoTo. I've used Whereby, which is our default. Give it a go. It's whereby.com, I think it is. WHEREBY. It's free up to 4 people, and it's very good. You don't need to register people. You can just send a link through a browser. We use Chrome. It works best. And you can do it seamlessly and for free. Really very good. I've used Google Hangouts, Skype, and one other, Teams. So all of those have been used today. It's fascinating. 90% of people who I had meetings with, I've cancelled them all. 90% have gone for a video. And it'd be interesting to see if that changes the behaviour over the long period of time. Anyway, so this is the setup that we have. I have a tombstone, as it's called, which is this is basically for my emails. So I have all my folders down here, so I can drag from my inbox into there, and I can read without scrolling up and down. So this is basically a normal landscape screen that I've just turned on its head, and so it works so much better with that way around. Obviously, we've got laptop here, another screen here for things to be going on, and tunes. We like tunes at Webmart. Personally, parvovirus, bizarre. We can take all of these kind of things, and I like Hard House Trance. This gives me a great opportunity to not be derided for my musical choice. The one thing that I think it is a good, probably the only thing I think is a good idea of Boris Johnson is to do a daily update. I think having people on a daily update is a very useful tool to keep one version of the truth. So if you get into I'm going to do 5 o'clock, I'm going to do a 5 o'clock update. And then on Friday we have beer o'clock, which is what we usually do. And I'm going to send out a little gift. We can't have beers together, so I'm going to send out, don't tell anyone, I'm going to send out wine gums, just little packet wine gums for them to share around. That'll get there on Friday. It's just those little things that make a difference. And people's birthdays, etc. Make sure you make a big thing of it so they're not feeling left out. Make sure use the org chart properly. Anybody who's a line manager rings their team up so they can speak to them day in, day out, so they don't feel isolated. And video is particularly good for that as well. I've had quite a lot of meetings with that. If you need to record anything to show people on screen, there's a thing called Loom, Loom, Loom. And that records your screen and has you as a little person in the bottom, which makes it a much better way of communicating. So that's a good thing to do. And sending things through the post is our secret weapon. Anytime somebody does anything that is nice, send something through the post. It really does have impact because people are genuinely excited about getting something through the post when they're confined to quarters, be it staff, suppliers, customers, anything. I mean, we're seeing an upsurge in direct mail. People who are know that they've got a captive audience at home now, send something through and they get a real buzz out of it. Millennials rarely get something that's interesting. So we're getting a lot of targeted emails, direct mail requests from people. Email marketing people are generally, things are getting pretty hacked off with getting emails from everybody. So get something through in in the post to your customers, to your prospects. You will find a significant uplift in response right here, right now. And equally, I mean, we're very fortunate that we're a cash-rich company that can work from home, and that's not a big. Oh, look at big I am here, but there won't be in our marketplace people who are that. And the one advantage of maturity is that you've been through things like this before, not specifically pandemic and whatever, but actually we've been through 2008 when the banks stopped working and things like that. So this is a short-term thing, maybe a couple of months, maybe longer. And there'll be people in your marketplace that are less strong than you. So look out for opportunities, commit to your staff that you're going to be there for them, and work with them wherever possible. Be very open with them, and if you can do that, there'll be people who will be really interested in and appreciative. Now, it's when the chips are down that people appreciate you spending time thinking about them and giving them the security. It's the Maslowian hierarchy of needs. I'm sure most of you know what it is, but if not, have a look at it. If you can give them the security and the appreciation and what have you, they will work their best they possibly can. And that's really important when it comes to people being isolated at home working. And one of the things that I'm just doing, as I muse looking over the Yorkshire Sculpture Park from my bedroom window, look at the suppliers that you really value and see what you can do to help them. So we're looking at now doing a 7-day payment for some of our key small suppliers that we work with. Big ones will ride this out, but small ones find it difficult. So these are the kind of things that will make a big difference to people's lives. And obviously, when in times of hardship, and I know I shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't touch me. But anyway, I'm here on my own. Then if you, in times of hardship, people really appreciate you going and just offering it. I think, oh, decent people doing the decent thing to help us out as much as we can. And same with your staff. Kids are going to be brought home from school anytime soon, going to be sent home. Just talking to our Scottish office, and they're likely to be off until August. I mean, these are big periods of time. And it's difficult for kids because you got your mum or your dad there, and they're not usually there. And when they are there, they want to play with you. And of course, they've got work to do and stuff. So on an individual case-by-case basis, look at your staff and see how you can support them. Now, I can tell you for sure, I'm not getting into childcare, but if we can support them by flexible working, by making it so that it's as easy a time as it possibly can be, given the fact it's going to be a hard time, then I think, people will really appreciate your thoughts at this moment in time. And it doesn't necessarily have to cost a lot of money. It just needs to be as flexible as your business allows, to wrap yourself around the individual's needs. If you make sure that they are looked after individually, the aggregate then is looked after, and therefore you will survive this difficult time in the best state you possibly can. And tools are really, really helpful for this. You'll see I'm looking like a dude. No, I'm not, but you can see I've got these in. These are fantastic to be able to talk as you're on the move, as you're going around and doing things, but also using Siri. Turn on, if you've got an iPhone, Android, I'm sure has got a similar kind of thing. It's Alexa. But if you say, I'm not going to say it because it'll start bumming in, but turn on the Hey Siri function and say, hey, ring whatever mobile, and it goes straight into it, or send email, or send WhatsApp, or whatever you want to do. With these in and that, you can do so much more, being so much more productive. And this is something I got a while ago to when I'm on trains and stuff, when there's obviously space. It's a screen. That's it. There's nothing else. It's a screen. It's run by USB off my laptop. See a little USB goes in there into my laptop, and it sits like that, just next to it. So you've got double the space. I'm sure they're on Amazon, and sort of I had this for a few years now. June 2018. It's an Asus. I don't know why I'm looking at me while I'm looking at that. It's an Asus, whatever that is. I don't know if it's got a model number on it, but it gives you twice the screen. So it runs, you don't have to plug it into the mains, it just runs off your USB, and you've got two screens wherever you're moving. So if you haven't got the spare screens there, it's an easy way of being able to double the surface area. So I have one on email, one on browser all the time, rather than toggling between and this and the other. And now's the time to invest in little things like this, which work really well, makes technology seamless. If you possibly can. Headphones are very good for keeping the acoustics right when you're talking to people. But I think this is going to be for the next couple of months. So work out your communication strategy internally and externally with the business. We use something called Totem as well. Last hint and tip. It's on App Store. And somebody saw one of my speeches about culture in the business, because that's a big thing about what we're doing as a business, is making it so that work and life live in harmony, and it attracts the right people, retains the right people, it drives the right behaviours, blah blah blah. Really important. Anyway, a company saw me doing so. Right up your street. Have a go with our app, and our app is called Totem, as in like native Indian type thing, and it's really good. So it's like our own social media platform. We can give kudos to people. We can show appreciation. We're all sharing our workspaces at the moment. And it's this this kind of thing. It sounds lame as oat, but actually, it especially does for somebody like me, 54, but actually it really is very good. So maybe worth investing in this kind of team building tool. It's relatively inexpensive, but it really can add a new dimension. And what we found is one of the people who was least likely to adopt this, has become the leader of it and has helped the adoption throughout the business. And it's been really well received. People like to know what other people are doing, and it helps people keep us as part of their team spirit. And that's going to be very important as people are, sometimes sat on their own for quite a long time, just in front of a keyboard, doing that all the time, and not having the normal kind of coffee machine chats or wander around. Get the discipline into their day for going outside and meeting people. I'm in the middle of nowhere relatively, but I'm going to make sure that I go out and see people every lunchtime and in the evening. And these are the kind of things that make a difference, make it bearable so you don't get cabin fever and stuff. Go out for a walk at lunchtime. We're all sat. I feel weird that I haven't got an uppy downy desk here, so I'm trying to stand. The good thing about one of these is, as you walk around, you can, if this is in my pocket, you wouldn't actually notice that there was anything that's different about it. So I can actually stand up, and I feel quite good about it. But obviously, my screens are down there, which is a bit more tricky. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. So Loom for videos on screens, Whereby for videos of your teams, Totem for the your own little social media platform for people. Think about the individual and give them a chat and bespoke the offer that you have as an employer to the team on an individual level. Make sure your team leaders are speaking to your team on a daily basis. Do a daily video. It's my daily broadcast, a couple of minutes, and keep people focused on things that matter, which is selling. Sales, production, whatever it is that's the key thing that their role is. For us, it's selling, talking to customers, helping them co-create marketing campaigns given this exceptional set of challenges that we're doing. And so they come out winning at the other side of this like we hope to. All right, keep your pecker up, enjoy it. It won't last forever. And at the end of it, there'll be some winners and some losers. Make sure you're a winner. Bit cheesy, but yeah, kind of thing.